What's up people? In today's video we are going to learn to create this image from this to this using Photoshop. In the description below I am going to give you the link of these two images for your practice and also be sharing a link for you to download the lens flare brushes for Photoshop. Let's get started. So let us now begin with the editing of the image. I have both of the images with me in Photoshop.
We have the road and we have the car. I'll be using the quick selection tool and selecting a car now. Make sure it is selected correctly and do not miss out on any parts of the car. I have selected the car now and I'll be right clicking and looking for select and mask. If you see on the right hand side there are some settings. You do not need to do much of it. Just I'm using a shift edge over here. If I move it toward my right, see, you can see the selection going in a little bit on the inner side of the car. I keep it to -21 and feather I'll keep around around 0.9 was fine, and I will say okay. It will do auto selection and delete the other part of the image. Here we go. Now this I will select this car, move tool, select the car and simply drag it right up here on the left hand corner on the road image. Here we go. We have the car as a selection over here. I'm going to scale it down a bit. We will get rid of the portion below. First let us place the car on the road as much as we want it. A little bit more probably, yeah, that is fine. Okay, now I will zoom into the car and I need to get rid of the extra stuff over here which did not get selected earlier. Again, I have to be a little bit careful with my selection. Folks, this is just a tutorial to show you how you can create these kind of images, and I'm not going to look for the complete perfection in this. You need to spend some time to get things right. This is just a workflow to show you how it is done. Now I have selected this portion and I'll simply say Command X or delete on Windows. So here we have the car. I can see there's some extra portions here too, and quickly I'm going to get rid of that too. Need a mirror. Here we go. I deleted the start. So now if you notice, the color of the car is not matching with the background because of the color correction. It is a white balancing. I have selected the car, going to filter using camera raw filter. We need to match the color of the car with the background. Background is bluish and the car is yellowish. We go to filter. We use camera raw filter, and the temperatures here on -9 should be fine. Yeah, more or less the car is now matching the road. Selecting the car layer, I will use the curve tool and I will click this particular adjustment so it only applies to the car, or it will also get applied to the road, which we do not want. And from the center, I'll just start pulling down the curve because to make the car a little more blacker. Yeah, it's been good now. If you notice, the car is not quite matching the perspective of that of the road. We need to work on that. We'll press Command T or Control T on Windows format, and I will select the start and selecting the center knob here, just a little slight bit of compression to make the car look a little meaner. Yeah, here we go. A little lower, increase this a little below. Yeah, so here we go. The car is now looking fine. Just check the centering. Okay, that's fine. That will come later. Now we have the car color balance properly. We have done the transformation and set the perspective right. And we now need to ensure that we have shadows over here because it is looking as if the car is floating on the road. I will now select a new layer that I will drag and drop below the car because we need the shadow right there. I'll select the black color, opacity probably around say 70 should be fine. I will start to paint below the car. So if we zoom in, you can see if I deselect this layer or make it invisible, the shadow is gone, and here we have a shadow. So it is looking good now. The car is having a shadow. It is not looking as if it is floating in the air as it was looking earlier. A little bit of more shadow. Yeah, the car is a heavy object and it does tend to cast a lot of shadow, and this looks just fine. So far it is looking good. Now what we need to do is we need to add a sense of motion to the background as if the car is moving at a great speed. I will double click the background and say OK, because I don't need to remove this lock for editing the background. I say OK. I select the background. I'll say Command J or Control J, and I want to create a duplicate layer for later on. So that's fine. Now what I'm going to do here is I am going to select the shadow layer. I'm going to select the car layer, and I'm going to select the curve layer, and I'm going to simply press Command G or Control G and create a group. I want all of them into one group. Here we go. So that becomes a part of one group. We'll select this layer behind, and we'll use the filter tool. We'll go to blur. We'll select radial blur. But when you select radial blur, we need this to be a zoom blur method and not the spin, and quality will be best. If you move this up and down, it will give you the blur effect starting for that point. Since this is a road, we take it a little below and we say OK. Around say 15 should be. Let's check how it would look. Yeah, now the road is looking good. It is looking as the car is zooming through, but however it is unnatural because the car also needs to be zooming through this. So what we're going to do now, we'll create another group duplicate, and by doing that, simple select the group, say Command J or Control J, just hide one of them, maybe the top one, and so this is, we're doing that so that later on if anything goes wrong, we have a backup and we do not need to go through the whole process again. So I will right click and I will say merge the group, and now I have the car. Now what I'm going to do is, friends, I'm going to add another layer of car. I'll tell you why. Okay, now let's do one thing. Before we do that, let's add lights to the car. We'll use the brush tool. We installed the flare. I'll be sharing the link on how to install the brushes on top. It's not my own link, but it will help you to quickly install these brushes into Photoshop and start using them. Now I need to create a headlight field. I will probably use the brush number 2, which I had done earlier. This is quite a bigger brush. I'll press the bracket button and this will give me the right size. This has to be 100% opacity. We'll use a white color, zoom in a little bit, use B as a brush. Now we are going to add the lights to the car, for which we will need a separate layer. We do not want to add a layer on the car itself, because something goes wrong again, as I said, we need to redo the whole thing, and we do not want that. We added another layer, one light here and one light here. Now this is giving a nice beautiful look to the car headlights. The headlights are now kind of falling in place. We will use a simple blur because this is too much of sharpness in the headlight. We'll use simple Gaussian blur, and probably a parameter of 2.2 is fine. It looks natural now. If I remove the preview, it was much sharper, which you don't want. It's not naturally sharp. So we use around 2.2 radius and say OK. If you want to make the headlight more powerful, we use the lens flare 5. You will use another layer because, as I said, we do not want to add it to that particular layer. Each layer is always good, so you can always go back and edit it the way you want. To add one more of the light. It's a racing car having too much of power. It depends upon you. And then you add another light here. We added one light here, and we select another layer. Add another light here. Now both the lights are going in the same direction. So what I will do now, I will do a transformation, Command T or Control T, and I will select flip horizontal. Simple. See, it is mirrored the light, so now it's looking uniform. Again, the same process, we'll use the filter, Gaussian filter. To the below layer also, we'll go to filter. Since the last selected, we'll use that, or you can again go back to the blur and say Gaussian blur, and then the laser 2.2, you can do that. Now, fantastic. This is looking good. The car lights have come alive. We will also add some more sporty light here. We added another layer. Now I wanted to add a fog lamp below over here to make it look more beautiful and more realistic. I'll select flare number 7, and here we go. Depending on what size you want, here we place a fog lamp. We did that here. Oh, that's looking so nice. We'll select another layer because we want to add another light. Here we go, and we'll just again say Control T or Command T, transformation, right click and say flip horizontal. Here, so the light is now mirrored. It looks much natural rather than falling in the same direction. Again, we'll follow the same blurring effect, and probably we'll try and give this a little more of blur. We can probably give it a blur of 3, and we'll select the top layer again. We'll go and select blur, Gaussian blur, and here we go. It's looking so beautiful, isn't it? We need to now add a nice sporty light, a fluorescent maybe a blue color light. I will look for brush number 12. I'll swap the color into blue. I have taken a new layer. Every light should be a new layer and not the same layer. Oops, this is way too much. We get the size down and we add it right over here. I think this opacity should be a little low. We need to mix it up a little bit. Maybe around 60% of opacity should look good. We add the lights here. We select another layer and we add another light here. In fact, in this case, we will not do anything. We will flip this particular light. Command T, and we'll flip. We want this light to fall a little outside here. By using this move tool, you can move your lights the way you want to. So you can probably this is looking good. If you want to add another light to make it look even more jazzier. Okay, now to wind up the lighting part, we have a fresh layer. I'm going to add a beautiful light here. See this is adding so much beauty to the whole thing. So we'll probably use this, place this at yeah, here we go. We added this beautiful final light that gives an extra flare and that real powerful look to light. Adding another layer, I will add another light here. Command T, and I will now flip this across. Fine, this is looking really cool now. Moving the light below to match the left hand side light. And the car is looking really good now. Here we go. Now, another very important thing that we need to keep in mind is now what we'll do is we'll keep all the light under one group. I'm selecting all the light layers from where I started, from number 3 till number 12. I use a shift button. I will now make them a group by pressing, let's add them to a group by pressing Command G or Control G, and rename this by just finger clicking here, maybe double clicking, lights. If you see, the car is having a lot of light, but then the road is not well lit and we do not want that to look unnatural. We'll add another layer. We'll put it below the car layer here. We will go back to the regular brush, and by using the color picker, or you can say I, if you press I, you can just select the car layer here, and you can see on the left hand corner it has selected the car layer. We'll add a little bit of light and we'll start brushing in this direction. What you can do is to keep your lighting judgment. You can use these lights at the end, this here, and paint somewhere within that path. No, this light is looking too bright. No worry, we'll select this layer, we'll come to the opacity and we'll reduce it a little bit. to around 65 maybe, and that looks good. Okay, now everything is in place, the lights, everything. Now what we need to do is we also need to add a bit of blur, zoom blur to the car to show its movement too, because now it's looking still. So for now what we're going to do is we are going to simply disable the light layer, also this light layer below, select the car and press Command J or Control J. What we are going to do here, we are going to select the top layer of the car. We will use the filter, we will use blur, we will use radial blur. We are using a radial blur now, and we are to add a bit of movement in the car. 15 was a little too much, maybe around 11. Let's see how it looks. Now you see the car is also looking in motion, but what is happening, the car logo and the grille is also looking too much in motion. It's looking blurred and we cannot really make out a brand. So very simply to do, why I have duplicated the layer below, because I would be deleting little bit of the grille area on the car, and the layer below will compensate for that, because that layer does not have a blur. So in simple words, I'm adding a mask. We add a mask, and with opacity full 100, we will just reduce this size. You can reduce the size from here as well, or by pressing the bracket, and just simply paint over this. A little bit paint. Now the car's grille and the logo is clear, because what happened is we added a blur to the top layer and the below layer did not have any blur. We just deleted a little bit of the top layer. Since the layer below did not have any blur and deleted the top portion, we painted it out using a mask. That has not got affected. So here we go. Now we simply go to lights. We on the lights. Here, light is here. Now the car is looking in motion. It's looking cool. If you want to add a little more motion, you can simply click the car, the top layer, and again add a little bit of dash of blur, maybe around 8 this time. Nothing will get affected below because we have the below layer which is taking care of it. Yeah, so this is looking cool now. This is the car is in motion. Now let's give it a bit of more color grading. So what I will do here is I am going to select all these layers here. I select all the layers, Command G. I create another group duplicate by pressing Command J or Control J. Let's switch off this layer below because we want the previous group all intact. We need a single layer now. Right click. We need to come a little on the right hand side over here and say and select merge group. Now this all has become one single image for now. I'll be using a filter from Google Nik Collection. This is free. You can download it. I'll probably put the link in the description. Simply select Ctrl FX. We are not doing something very fancy. Just one simple filter. You need to choose Photo Stylizer. This is my favorite, so I added whatever I like over here in my favorite. So if you don't find it, you need to go to all and select Photo Stylizer wherever you find it. Going below, you can drop down from here from this menu and see what looks good. Okay, this is looking really cool, a retro feel. We can go down, we can go further down, we can say that whatever you think is your choice, you can select that. I think number 3 looks good, and here we go. We should deselect this layer. Okay, this is what we had earlier, and we select this layer again. This is what the stylizer had given nice color grading and giving nice film look. If I press F twice, it hides the tools. Here we go. Zoom in. Here is the final image. I'll press F again and I will come back to the original position. I will simply save this file now by using save as. This is the full image. I hope you all really liked this tutorial. Thanks a lot for watching.
I hope you enjoyed watching this video. As I mentioned earlier, you're going to get a link to both the images for practice and also a link to download the lens flare brushes for Photoshop. If you like this video, leave up a thumbs up. I will see you in the next video soon.